Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. With polling just over 10 days away for India's Lok Sabha elections 2024, parties are in full campaign mode and intensifying their efforts to secure victory in the upcoming general elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a public meeting in North India's Pilibhit. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister extended Navratri greetings and slammed India alliance, disrespecting the belief of the entire nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also held public rallies in central India's Balaghat. He also conducted a roadshow in South India's Chennai and addressed a public meeting in Vellore, Lok Sabha constituency. India's Home Minister Amit Shah held a public rally in Assam on Tuesday. Addressing the gathering, he said people have two options in front of them, India Alliance and Bharatiya Janata Party-led NDA. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh visited Arunachal Pradesh's Namsai district to campaign for Bharatiya Janata Party today. Mahavikas Aghadi, the opposition coalition in Maharashtra, announced its seat-sharing arrangement on Tuesday for the upcoming general polls. Senior citizens and specially able people have now the option to cast their votes from the comfort of their homes for Lok Sabha elections. West Tripura District Election Officer announced that individuals aged 85 and above and specially abled people can cast their votes from their homes starting Tuesday using Vote from Home facility. Delhi High Court rejected Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's plea against arrest in Delhi excise policy case and said the case is valid. The court also rejected Kejriwal's objections to Enforcement Directorate using a prover's statement against him. Delhi High Court said that material collected by ED reveals that he conspired with others and was involved in his personal capacity as well as convener of Aam Aadmi Party. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Secretary General of the Belgian Ministry of Foreign Affairs Theodora Gensees in New Delhi. Both the leaders discussed economic and political cooperation between India and Belgium. Chaitra Navratri, a 9-day Hindu festival, begins on the first day of the Hindu lunisolar calendar. The festival started on the 9th of April and will end on the 17th of April. The Hindu New Year is also celebrated as Gudi Padwa in Maharashtra. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended warm greetings to people celebrating across the country on the occasion of the first day of the New Year according to the Hindu calendar. 8 people, including 7 Nepal citizens, were killed after their vehicle plunged into a gorge in Betal Ghat area of Nainital district in North Indian state of Uttarakhand on Monday night. The state disaster response descended nearly 150 meters into the deep ravine to carry out rescue and relief operations. 2 injured people were evacuated and rushed to a nearby hospital. Indian Coast Guard's pollution control vessel Samudra Peheredar with an integral helicopter made a port call at Muara, Brunei on Tuesday as part of its ongoing overseas deployment to ASEAN countries. The Enforcement Directorate in India conducted raids at more than 20 locations in Tamil Nadu as part of a money laundering investigation related to drug trafficking. The case involves Tamil film producer Jafar Sadiq. Indian Embassy in New York declared that a 25-year-old student from Hyderabad has been found dead. The Indian Embassy said that Mr. Muhammad Abdul Arfat, for whom the search operation was underway, was found dead in Cleveland, Ohio. Foundation stone for the construction of the Sri Diding Basic School building was laid in Nepal under Nepal-India Development Cooperation Project. The project is taken up as a high-impact community development project under an agreement between Government of India and Government of Nepal. Indian stock market achieved another milestone on Tuesday. For the first time, Bombay Stock Exchange Sensex crossed the 75,000 mark. Both frontline indices traded at record high levels in the opening trade on the 9th of April, with Nifty 50 surging above the 22,700 level. Gold prices extended their record rally, reaching highs in both global and domestic markets. Spot gold soared to $2,344 per ounce earlier in the session. In India, the scenario was no different as gold prices skyrocketed to 71,000 rupees per 10 grams for the first time, while the US gold futures climbed $2,361. Silver futures maturing on the 3rd of May stood at 82,411 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Indian rupee settled on a flat note at 83.32 against the US dollar on Tuesday. US tech giant Microsoft has announced plans for a new artificial intelligence hub in UK's London. This project will focus on product redevelopment and research. The new artificial intelligence hub will be led by London-born co-founder of Google, DeepMind, Mustafa Suleyman, who was hired by Microsoft last month. Tesla has settled a lawsuit over a 2018 car crash that killed an Apple engineer after his Model X operating on autopilot swerved off a highway near San Francisco. The settlement was made on the eve of the trial over a high-profile accident involving Tesla's driving assistant technology. Tesla faces a series of lawsuits over crashes related to the alleged use of autopilot mode. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the date is set for Rafah operation as no progress made at Cairo talks for ceasefire. Hamas has rejected an Israeli ceasefire proposal made at talks in Cairo. Israeli and Hamas officials say no significant progress has been made in the latest round of Gaza truce talks in Cairo. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said at a news briefing that Washington does not want to see a full-scale Rafah offensive. United Nations Security Council referred the Palestinian Authority's application to become a full member of the world body to the Committee on the Admission of New Members. Restating India's position on Gaza crisis, Indian Ambassador to UN, Ruchira Kamboj, condemned attack on Israel. Addressing the UNGA, she reaffirmed India's support for two-state solution. Russia and China have agreed to begin a dialogue on security in the Eurasian region, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Tuesday after talks with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. European Union agriculture ministers met today to discuss capping agricultural imports from Ukraine after Poland and France decided the last compromise did not go far enough. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida arrived in Washington, becoming the first Japanese leader to make a state visit to the United States in 9 years. During his visit, Kishida will hold a bilateral summit with US President Joe Biden. He will also address a joint meeting of Congress on Thursday. French President Emmanuel Macron met with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak via video conferencing on Monday to mark the 120th anniversary of the Entente Cordiale. British and French guards swapped roles for changing of the guard ceremonies marking the 120th anniversary. The French guard marched at the Élysée Presidential Palace in Paris. French President Emmanuel Macron and British Ambassador to France, Mena Rawlings, watched British guards taking part in the ceremony. French President Emmanuel Macron met Serbian President Alexander Vučić in Paris to hold talks about European defense and security. Macron said Serbia has an important role to play in strengthening the strategic autonomy of the European Union. The US military said it destroyed air defense and drone systems of Houthi forces in the area of the Red Sea with no injuries or damage reported to commercial US and coalition ships. US President Joe Biden announced plans to cancel student loans from 23 million Americans, the administration's latest push on addressing student debt before the presidential elections. The plans include cancelling of up to $20,000 of accrued and capitalized interest for borrowers, regardless of income. That would eliminate the entirety of that interest for 23 million borrowers. A New York judge has denied his bid to delay United States former President Donald Trump's 15 April criminal trial. Trump is contending with allegations that he paid hush money to an adult film star. The trial of 29 individuals charged in connection with the worldwide Panama Papers money laundering scandal began in Panama City on Monday, including the founders of law firm Mossack Fonseca and Co. summoned. The Mozambican government met today to assess the situation after a ferry boat sank off the northern coast. Over 100 people have been killed in the incident and 10 rescued, while nearly 20 others were still missing. In Haiti, leaders have approved a deal for a temporary government to steer the nation out of gang-fueled chaos. The new government will take over for departing Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who tendered his resignation on the 11th of March. In a landmark judgment on climate change case, a group of older Swiss women have won the first ever case in the European Court of Human Rights. The Swiss women had argued that their government's inaction to tackle climate change had put them at a risk of dying due to heat wave. Supreme Court of India has given a similar verdict recently, saying right against climate change is a distinct, fundamental and human right. Supreme Court of India underscored the need to recognize this right as a distinct one, as vulnerable species face several challenges because of pollution and climate change. March marks yet another record in global heat, says the EU Climate Agency. The agency says the world just experienced its warmest March on record, capping a 10-month streak in which every month set a new temperature record. Floods still threaten vast areas of Russia's Ural and Siberia as thousands are evacuated. Floodwaters triggered by melting snow have affected at least 10,000 homes and forcing thousands of people to flee. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared an emergency in the Orenburg region after the Ural River, Europe's third longest river, swelled several meters in hours and burst through a dam embankment in the city of Orsk. The UK is in for a chaotic next week as Storm Kathleen is expected to cause travel disruption. 70 flights and dozens of ferries were already cancelled. Met Department issued 127 flood alerts and 20 flood warnings across England and Wales, with strong winds and rainfall through Tuesday and Wednesday. The department also warned of potential damage to buildings, power cuts, poor mobile phone coverages and danger to life because of large waves and debris from beaches being thrown onto the seafronts. Zimbabwe faces hunger situation as El Nino drought kills crops. Aid agency Oxfam warns over 24 million people in southern Africa to face hunger, malnutrition and water scarcity because of the drought. Colombia's capital Bogota to ration water as reservoirs dry after El Nino droughts. The restrictions will also apply to 11 municipalities close to the capital, affecting at least 9 million people. The El Nino phenomena arrives in Colombia at the end of 2023, causing high temperatures and droughts that led to forest fires throughout the Andean country and pushed reservoirs to their lowest levels in decades. Long rows of vibrant blossoming tulips attracted foreign and domestic tourists to India's northern Jammu and Kashmir region on Monday. The flowers were in season at the Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden and spread over an area of about 30 hectares. Renowned destination attracts crowds during the spring season from mid-March to late April. The garden has earned recognition from the World Book of Records, London, as the first of its kind in Asia. As Hindus across India welcome the new year, renowned sand artist Doordarshan Patnaik marked the celebrations in a unique way. Patnaik created a 5-feet-high sand art of Lord Ram with installation of flowers at Puri beach in state of Odisha. Patnaik used about 4 tons of sand on it. His students also joined hands to complete the sculpture. In southern India, New Year's Day is known as Ugadi. States of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka and Goa mark Ugadi by drawing colourful patterns on the floor called mango leaf decorations and also other traditions of gifts and charity. Hindu devotees across India flocked to temples on Tuesday to mark the first day of Navratri, which is the festival of 9 nights dedicated to goddess Durga. Devotees flocked the Maharashtra state's Mumba Devi temple to offer prayers early in the morning. Devotees stood in serpentine queues, chanted prayers at hilly cave shrine of Vaishno Devi in India's northern Katra town to offer prayers to goddess Durga early in the day. 16 endangered moon bear cubs recover after historic rescue in Laos. They were rescued by wildlife conservation charity in the private home in Laos in March. The rescued bears are protected from international trade under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora and are given additional protections in Laos where it is illegal to hunt, possess or trade bears or their body parts. The largest rescue by Free the Bears in Laos before this was 5 bear cub rescued in a single day in 2019. Millions left to know as total solar eclipse sweeps Mexico, US and Canada. North Americans celebrate with cheers, music and matrimony, the first total solar eclipse to darken the continent in 7 years. Couple gets engaged at Niagara Falls during eclipse. At least 2 weddings and 1 marriage proposal were known to have taken place among people who assembled at Niagara Falls State Park to see the first total solar eclipse to darken the continent in 7 years. People gathered at the University of Texas at Arlington or UTA on Monday to catch a total solar eclipse for the first time since 1878. To celebrate the occasion, the University of Texas hosted a solar-bration eclipse watch party for the public. An underwater drone is using AI to help survey the Great Barrier Reef as a widespread mass coral bleaching event that unfolds across the huge structure. Hollywood actor Jonathan Majors sentenced to 1-year domestic counseling following assault conviction. The conviction stemmed from a March 2023 incident where Majors was caught on camera shoving his ex-girlfriend Grace back into an SUV during an argument. English singer-songwriter and musician Paul McCartney praises Beyoncé's cover version of Beatles' Blackbird via a social media post. Paul McCartney also posted a picture of himself with a US music superstar as well as cover art from her new album called Cowboy Carter that Blackbird features on. The trailer of the upcoming animated mythological film titled Love You Shankar is out now. Animated mythological film Love You Shankar will hit the big screens on the 19th of April. Bollywood actor Rajpal Yadav starrer Kaam Chalu Hai trailer is out now. The trailer begins with news flashes about how potholes lead to road accidents and multiple death cases. The Rajpal starrer movie will be released on the 19th of April on OTT platform Z5. Action-packed Bollywood film Chote Miyan Bade Miyan is set for its big release. The movie will hit the big screen on Thursday. Bollywood famed actor Rajkumar Rao bags a lead role in biopic of Indian industrialist Shrikant Pola. The film will hit the big screens on the 10th of May. Inconsistent Punjab Kings to take on highly aggressive Sunrisers Hyderabad as the two teams clash in a mid-table battle clash in a short while from now in IPL. Lucknow Super Giants has stated that young pacer sensation Mayank Yadav remains uncertain to play the franchisee's next IPL match against DC. Pakistan Cricket Board names all-rounder Azhar Mahmood as the new head coach. He will be joined by Mohammad Yusuf and Syed Ajmal as batting and spin bowling coach respectively. Indian men's hockey team will face Australia in their third game of the 5-match series on Wednesday. India currently trailed the series by 2-0. Sumit Nagal creates history as he becomes the first ever Indian man to record a main draw win at Monte Carlo Masters. He defeated Italy's Matteo Arnaldi in the first round. Defending champions Manchester City may meet a record winners Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-finals in Madrid today. Inform Arsenal will seek to set the record straight when they face Bayern Munich in the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final later today. Everton lost 2 more points after the club's appeal against a Premier League charge for a breach of financial rules was unsuccessful. Al Nassr captain Cristiano Ronaldo was sent off late on as his side lost by 2-1 to City rivals Al Hilal. And Commonwealth Games Federation said multiple proposals are being considered to host the 2026 edition of Commonwealth Games. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere, keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.